Three Types of Identical Consciousness is from page 111. So we are going to study about three types of identical consciousness. Three types of identical consciousness. The life of a living being begins with a rebel consciousness, Patisandi Chitta. After that dissolution of this consciousness, Bhavinga Chitta's life continuum arise and dissolve continuously till that performing the function of life continent. The last Bhavinga Chitta is known as that consciousness, Chutti Chitta, because it performs that function. For a living being, these three Chittas, namely the Patisandi Chitta, the Bhavinga Chittas, and the Chutti Chittas, are the same in jati, but in concomitant and in the sense objects they take. For normal human beings, one or the eight Mahavibhaka Chitta functions as Patisandi Chitta, Bhavinga Chitta, and Chutti Chitta. These three Chittas are identical in a person because they are the resultants of the same karma associated with a Mahakusala Chitta. If the Kusala Chitta is Somanasa Sahagatan Jnana Sampayutta Asankharika Mahakusala Chitta, then Somanasa Sahagatam Jnana Sampayuttan Asankharika Mahavibhaga Chitta where function as Patisandi Chitta, Bhavinga Chitta, and Chutti Chitta. The sun object that these Chittas stays in the near-death sign Paranasana Namitta, which appear just before death in the immediate past life. The sign is in the form of karma, sign of karma, or sign of destiny. This phenomena will be explained further below. Near the sign Maranasana Namitta. In the present life, a person will be alive as long as the Kusala karma, which has given him rebirth in this life, keeps on supporting him, i.e., keeps on producing Bhavinga Chitta's life continent and karma-born materiality as karma resultant. Just before that supporting karma phased out, the many Kusala karmas and Akusala karmas in the mental string compete with one another to have the chance of bearing karma results, and one karma will emerge as the winner. This successful karma may appear in the mind or a person as karma object. When this happens, the person may remember the good or bad action which he has performed in the past in connection with the successful karma. The moral or immoral consciousness experienced at that particular moment arises known as a fresh consciousness. In other words, it is a recurring or the consciousness which one has experienced in performing the action. At times, it may be a sign or symbol associated with the successful karma that appear at one or the sun doors. It may be one or the five physical objects viewed through one or the five doors as a present object, or viewed through the mind door as a past object. This past or present object in connection with the successful karma is called karma namitta or sign or karma. For example, let us suppose that a person is listen to the Dhamma at his dying moment and his good karma became the successful karma to bear karma result for his next life. In this case, the present audible Dhamma was grasped through the ear becomes the karma namitta. In another case, Let us suppose that a dying teacher sees through her mental eye, Manovinyana, the student she has taught. This is also Kama Namitta in the form of a past object which appears at the mind door. Or say, in another case, a dying butcher hears the groans or the cattle he has killed. This past audible object is also Kama Namitta presented to him through the mind door. At times, some symbol of the place in which he is to be reborn according to the successful karma may appear at the mind door. For example, celestial beings or celestial mansions, etc., may appear to the dying person if he is to be reborn in one of the celestial abodes, or miserable pupil in hell or hell house, etc., may appear to him if he is to reborn in hell. These objects related to the place of rebirth are known as Gati Namitta or sign or destiny. Thus, when a person is dying, one or the three types or near death sign, namely Kama, Kama Namitta or Gati Namitta, will always appear at one of the sense door. The person will die soon after and will be reborn in the next life. Then his Patisani Chitta, Bhuvenga Chitta and Chuti Chitta in a new light where all grasp the near death sign or the past life. The appearance of three types of near death sign, namely Kama, Kama Namitta, Gadi Namitta, at rebirth consciousness, at rebirth consciousness, life continent and death consciousness constitute three modes of Visaya Pavati for VITHI Vimukti Chittas. Three types of Bhuvenga Chittas. In the present life, Bhuvenga Chitta takes the near death sign of the immediate past life as the object, as the object is not the new external object that appeared in order or descends doors in the present life that gives rise to a cognitive series of consciousness. We are not aware of it. So when we are asleep or when we do not know anything, this Bhuvenga Chitta will be arising and dissolving at a tremendous speed of more than 1,000 billion times per event. Now suppose that sun object appear at one of the sun doors. It is necessary to know these new objects so that we can react to it as the need arises. In order to turn the string of consciousness toward these new objects, the string of Bhuvenga Chitta must be arrested or cut off first. The Bhuvenga string cannot be arrested by suddenly. As soon as the new sun objects appear at one of the sun door, as the man running very fast cannot stop suddenly at a point and at least a few steps must be allowed before he comes to rest, so also two Bhuvenga Chitta must pass after the appearance of the sun objects before the Bhuvenga string can be arrested. These two Bhuvenga Chittas, in trying to get away the old near death sign and take the new sun objects, vibrate somewhat from their normal situation, so they are known as vibrating life continent Bhuvenga Chalana. But as the Bhuvenga string is arrested or cut off after the second Bhuvenga Chalana, this Chitta is renamed as Bhuvengu Pichida, cut off life continent. Now, the five physical sense objects do not appear or become distinct at the sun doors as soon as they are contact with sun's door. Even the objects of very great intensity, Atimahanda Ramana, takes one consciousness moment, Chittakhana, to develop itself into prominence so as to appear the sun's door. So one Bhuvenga Chitta must pass from the time of contact or sun's objects with the sun door to the time the objects appear at the door. This chitta is called Adida Boinga, past like continent. When the sun object is of fairly great intensity, Mahanta Ramana 2 or 3 Boinga Jada must pass by from the time or contact or the sun objects with the sun door to the time the objects appear at the door. These 2 or 3 Boinga Jada are also called Adida. These 2 or 3 Boinga Jada are also called Adida Boinga. These 2 or 3 Boinga Jada are also called Adida Boinga. Thus, we have 3 kinds of Boinga Jada. Number 1, Adida Boinga. Those Boinga Jada which pass by from the time the sun object strike the sun door to the time the objects appear at the door. Number 2, Boinga Chalana. Vibrating Boinga which arise when the sun objects appear at the door. Number 3, Boingu Pichida. Cut off Boinga that follows the Boinga Chalanas. After this, the Boinga string is cut off and VITHI Chitta start arising. That's all for this morning. Thank you for listening.